And we're live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is you're joining us from. Yes, and it is that time of the day. I promised I told you I was going to be here. And here I am. Yes, it's a little past 1 p.m. We're supposed to start by 1, but hey, we're here. Sorry, we had some technical issues trying to just try the different things to see what works. But yes, here we are. Hopefully, we're live on Facebook and on YouTube. And let me know where it is you're joining us from if you're here watching us. So, yes, how are you doing? And how are my boys doing? So, yes, this has been a while. It's been a while I did this. And I'm happy to be back. So we lost our accounts, and then I just really got busy doing things offline. But I am back because I have missed my online people, and starting afresh was a little, challenging. But hey, see us here. We're here again. So how are you doing? And I hope you're excited to be here. I am. And if you're catching a replay, please mention in the comments that you're catching a replay. Yeah. So why are we doing this? What's happening here? So what we're doing is we're preparing for a workshop which is coming in 2 weeks. Yes, in less than 2 weeks actually. October 3rd and 4th for a discipline workshop for boys. Yes, thank you for joining. Thank you. Please go send the link to your friends, your family, and let them come and learn. Yes, I'm all about learning. I'm all about us trying to do things better because my mantra is if you know better, you will do better. So yes, so we're here because we're preparing for a workshop, a discipline workshop. In my line of work, I've interacted with quite a number of parents, boy parents in particular. And one thing you hear is, oh, my child is struggling with this. My son isn't listening to me. I've tried everything. My son is struggling with a particular misbehavior. There's always something that is bothering parents at every point in time. And so you tend to what keeps me, what makes me get what actually made me to decide to put together this workshop is when you hear parents say, I have tried everything. And that makes me stop in my tracks, like, okay, everything? Like, are you really sure you have tried everything? Or you have tried everything you know? So that's the difference, and that's why we're here. That's why we're committed to showing up for 10 days to talk to you about what it is that you know and show you where the knowledge gap is from what it is that you should be doing. And then right after that, we jump into the workshop, a 2 days workshop. It's going to be explosive. It's going to be all of that and so much more. But it's not just going to be about discipline. It's going to be about taking us through the process because you cannot the fact that you have been doing something wrong, that means there's something wrong. And so we go and figure it out, down to how we were parented, down to your childhood and all of those traumas. We will let go of all of those, wrong and discipline methods we have we have been practicing for quite a while now. And then we come back the day two and take on the new and understand what it is that we're supposed to be doing and understand how it is we're supposed to be doing it. So basically that's it. So who is in for this ride? I promise it's going to be an amazing one. But this 10 days, we're just going to really be looking at why it is that we are where we are. What exactly are we doing as parents when it comes to discipline and disciplining our boys in particular? So yes, that's what this is about. So today's topic is going to be, are we really honoring our children? We say children I trust, but do we really treat them as such? So this is key because a lot of times, in between, oh, sorry about that. So these children come with, you we're expecting them 9 months waiting. You sure before then, so we're praying for them, praying for God to bless us with kids and all of that. And then we have these kids. And the first, no matter how difficult those first few months are, we push through because we're just so happy to have this bundle of joy in our hands. Constantly checking, is he still breathing? Is she okay? All the visits to the hospital and everything. But somehow, as they get older, I think we start to lose that. We start to lose that specialness. We start to lose that, that thing that made us, that literally made our heart beat, whenever I saw our children. So not lose it completely, but because of the hustles in life, because of everything that we're dealing with, our kids we just add them to every other thing that, oh, they are just part of what we have to deal with in life. And so we forget to treat them as that special 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 assignment that God has given us actually. And so, and then we start to see their problems, start to see their faults, start to see their weaknesses, and then we start to focus on that, and on we go on and on and on and on. But this is my invitation for you to pause, and I'm going to ask you a question that if, let's say, a colleague of yours or a friend of yours was traveling and they gave you something very important to them, something dear to them, and they said, okay, please handle this for me, look after it for me, whether it's a car, whether it's their office, they give you the keys and they say, please, can you check on, my building? Oh, I'm traveling. Please can you take care of my car before I come back? There's something that is special to them. Or a friend tells you something really special, something very intimate, something private, and says, please don't share this with anyone. How would you treat that? Will you treat it just like, any other thing, and, go broadcasting it and even making a mess of it and talking about it in a very silly way? Or will you, because you respect that friend, because you want the best for your friend, will you treat that thing with the utmost respect, like it's something really precious and all of that? What will you do if you're in that situation? So I'm sure a lot of us will say, oh, we'll definitely treat it with respect, definitely treat it well because, it's your friend and they've asked you to. But then I ask you, why is it that it's easy for us to forget that our children are also a special gift from God? Our children are literally like God's gift to us. And then he gives this not as a possession, not as that. And that's how I gave the synonym of a friend that is giving you something and it's coming back to collect it. So it is not as a possession. It is not yours to keep. It is not yours to do as you wish. It is for you to look after. It is a trust. I am entrusting you with this. What will you do with it? And what do we end up doing? So I would want you to tell me in the comment section what you end up doing. What do we end up doing? Yes, we know that this child is special. We know that this child, we're meant to take care of the child, but how do we go about it? How do we treat this child? Do we treat this child like one that's really special? And let me give you an example. Before you say, oh no, I treat my child as very special, I will give examples here. But one thing I want you to remember is that children are not meant to be, they're not things to be molded. So they are not like clay that you have to mold into whatever it is you deem fit. Today you want to make it a cup. Tomorrow it's going to be a plate. Next tomorrow it's going to be a flower vase. No, they are people to be unfolded. They are people to be unfolded. What does this mean? It means that there's all this. So this is a quote by Jesler, an author on the parenting book. So what does this mean? This means that they are not just yours to do whatever it is you wish with them, whatever it is, because that's what we do as parents. We feel like we own them. There's this thing of ownership we put on our kids, like, okay, they are mine, so I can do whatever it is that we want to do. And that's why we say things like, I'm your mother, you have to do it a particular way. I'm your father, what I say is, whatever I say goes. But really, is that what we're meant to do? But there are things to be unfolded. What does that mean? It means that they don't come as a blank slate, unlike what we were taught, like orthodox psychology will tell us that, child psychology will tell us that a child comes as a blank slate. No, but a child doesn't come as a blank slate. A child comes already programmed, already put in so many things for you to come out and unfold, so many things for you to find out and discover about your child. The child has special talents, the child has special personalities, the child has special even weaknesses and special strengths, so many things that if you as a parent do not find that out, I wonder where we want them to. And that is our primary responsibility in this world, not to come and make them into whatever it is. Oh, today I want to be a doctor. Oh no, tomorrow, no, my cousin's son is a doctor. I want you to surpass that one. You'll be and all sorts of things that we do just for our own interest, but we need to see. And so today, it's an invitation. It's going to be a short one, invitation for you to look deep within and say, how are you treating your children? How are you treating? Are you treating them like things that you want to mold them into something that will suit you, or you're treating them like people who God has already put in a lot in them, and you're here to just unfold. You're here to just find out what exactly is inside of them. So which one are you going to do? I leave that to you. And so let's go back to where you were saying, oh no, if they give me as as a special, I am going to treat them as such. But let me ask you, let me paint a scenario for you. So your child comes in and mistakenly breaks a glass or something, and you go, how many times did I tell you, stop doing this, Stop playing ball here because now you've broken another glass. Are you all right? Are you okay? Do you know that, And then we go on and on and on and on and on. But you're with your friend in the restaurant and your friend mistakenly hits a glass. And not only does the drink spill, the glass falls and breaks. Even the waiters in the restaurant will be like, oh, it's okay. Even if you pay for it, they don't come and I don't know, grab you and squeeze you and shake you and throw you against the wall and say, what were you thinking that you spilled the drink and broke our glass? And even you, the friend, will say, oh, it's okay. I'm sure it was a mistake. Don't worry about it. We'll fix it. And then you go trying to get, a rat to clean up and just trying to make everywhere better. But can you remember the last time you did support your child through a mistake that way? No, this is honest. This is it. Because just like adults, just like children make mistakes, we also make mistakes. Just like we make mistakes, children will make mistakes. And when they do those things, I do not know how we're able to just jump from seeing it as a mistake to us actually think you intentionally did this. They sent you from the village because that's how we treat our children. They sent you from the village to come and frustrate me. And yeah, I'm here to deal with you. And then we rain all sorts of insults on them. We rain all manner of words on them, not knowing that, not caring how they feel. But you see that friend in that restaurant, no, you don't want that friend to feel bad. So you're like, I'm here for you, my ride or die. I'm going to, we're going to do this together. It's me and you against the world. It's me and you against this spilled drink and all of those things. So where are we? Why are we not doing the same for our kids? Why are we not doing the same for our kids? Why are we not telling them that we're there as a strong force? We're there to support them. We're there, even though they make a mistake. They've got us. Why aren't we doing that? And so, do you understand where there's a gap now? Where, as much as I love to say with you that yes, our children are treasures, they are treasures. We love them. They're God's giving treasures to us. We say that every day, but do we act like it? So today, like I said, it's just we're not going to say too much. It's just an invitation for you to sit down and think about this. And it's an invitation to myself. And even as I speak to you, I still make mistakes. And even as I speak to you, I'm not speaking because it just fell on me. I'm not speaking to you because, it just it has always been this way for me. No, it has not. I was a yellow mom and I still have my moments. But then that was the regular in the house. You enter yelling, you go to sleep yelling, you wake up yelling, because in your head that was the only way you could do it. And that's why I'm asking you that, are you sure that's the only way? Have you tried to learn other ways? Or you're there stuck on saying, no, I have tried everything. And so that was why I felt then, I would feel bad about myself. But and there are times I wouldn't even feel bad. I feel like it was my right. So this is the only way they can learn. And such an arrogant way to think, really, really. And I invite you to actually take that stance, because that's the only way you can have an open mind and be willing to learn new ways, or else you will sit there and say, no, this is the only thing I know. This is the only thing there's nothing you're going to teach me. There's nothing you're going to tell me. But trust me, there are so many things that you can learn just to make things better. And with boys, it's particularly challenging because of the way boys are wired. Boys are not wired to sit in one place. Hello, are you a boy mom? Come here, let us gather together for a selfie. No, and so because of that, it's easy for them to they make more mistakes. They react. They are more impulsive, really, than girls. Girls will take their time. They might think through things. They take their time. They do things properly and very demure and very, but not boys. A lot of boys are just all over the place, and it's because they are wired. Except they are trained, to calm their nerves down intentionally. And for a mom that is constantly yelling, you're not training. So we'll get there. You're yelling, you're not training. You're shouting, you're not teaching. There's a difference. So we'll get there, right? And so, another author, Dan Kindlon, the author of Raising Cain, which is a book about boys. He writes about boys in this book, and he says that we're creating a generation of boys who have learned to hide their emotional selves. So why do they hide their emotional selves? Because their parents have refused to believe that accidents happen. Their parents see every misbehavior they do, every little mistake they make as intentional, as a problem. Even when they play and it's rough, the parents say, "Oh, it is intentional. You intentionally wanted to hit your brother. You intentional." And so, because of that, they have learned to hide their emotions. They have learned to, just keep things to themselves. They don't even know how to act anymore because we're there constantly judging, constantly criticizing. So, this is this harsh interaction. What does it teach boys? It teaches boys that their authentic selves are not welcome, and we see it everywhere. We see it where boys are very withdrawn these days. Boys do not even, they hardly talk. You ask them questions. You ask questions in class, especially those of us who are educators. Oh yes, I've become an educator. I'm one of you now, and I'll tell you more about that story. I've always been one. Anybody that sits in front of a system, talking to people, a group of people, anybody. So I've always been, yes. But now we're going, a lot deeper into education, and it's a beautiful thing. I'm grateful for it, but I'll tell you more about it later. So yeah, how did I get to this education field? This place I was talking about educators. But yes, what we're just trying to say is that all of this interaction teaches boys that their authentic selves are not welcome. And we sometimes forget that the child that we're raising today is going to become that adult that will determine a lot about our future when we get older. We always think that we're going to be all this young and strong and energetic and healthy and controlling all our lives. But no, I'm sure that's not the case. I'm sure we don't need to look far. We just think of our parents. If they are alive, may God keep them in good health. And for those who are gone, may God grant them, the blessed place and peaceful place with Him. And when we think about it, we think that, oh, how many years ago were our parents as young and vibrant as we are? And how are they now? And so that should be a reminder for you to say, okay, I'm not always going to be like this. Am I doing the right thing for them? Am I setting the right, am I sending the right messages? Because one thing we forget is that one of the 4 R's of negative discipline is revenge. Yes, yes, yes. There are kids who are revenging today for all of the maltreatment that they got from their parents. They are children. They are not children anymore. They are now adults. And their parents are, oh God, and their parents who forgot that they were going to go from strength to weakness someday. And they are now weak. And those children are doing their best for them. Like some of them, they just show up just because they have to do it out of obligation, not because they want to be there. And some don't even care. I don't, you're in one village somewhere, I've left you, and they don't even speak to them, they don't call them. And why does this happen? This happens because of the way we were treated. A lot of us, our mates, millennials who have interaction with their parents today, a lot of them, it's not because they want to. They just do it because just out of obligation, like I said, and it's very artificial. There is no, mutual love, mutual respect, mutual care. I just want to do what it is that I have to do and get out of up there. But how wholesome is that? Is that what you want for yourself? So it's the reason I'm inviting you today to say, hey, can we start to think of better ways to discipline our children such that we're able to show up for them? And they are able to show up for us when we are older. But beyond even, because no, nobody should make their children a retirement plan, but beyond even how they will show up for you when you're older is also how you're teaching them that this is the only way to interact, being harsh, being very critical, being judgmental. That's the only way. So do not take nonsense. Whenever there's a mistake, no, do not see it as a mistake. See it as something that is directed towards you and treat it as such. It's just like cut the tree, cut everything, just cut everything. And is that what you want to leave with your children? Is that the legacy you want to leave? Someone who, okay, you taught your children to be no nonsense people, and then they ended up being people who had no relationships whatsoever, not at work, not at home, not even with their peers. Why? Because they were these people who acted like they had it all figured out. They always correct, and they could never stand any mistake. Is that what you want? Honestly, is that what you want? And so, once again, I'm reminding you that this is not a discipline workshop yet. If you are interested in being a part of that workshop, please send us a message. Send us a DM, send us a message, YouTube, everywhere. We got you. And so basically that's it. Just today is being a short one, like I said, just 20 minutes every day for us to sit down and ask ourselves, are we honoring the trust, or are we breaking them? Are we breaking their spirit one word at a time, one harsh word at a time? So which is it? honestly, which is it? And you should be the one to tell us because here we are open, we don't act like we know it all. I tell you every time. I used to be like, only very recently did I learn how to control my emotions, and it did not follow me. It took a lot of time, just learning. And yes, there were things I knew well, and that's the thing. Our parents, not like they got it all wrong. Amazing people. They did the best of what they knew how. But you know better. You're supposed to know better because you have access to a lot of resources. You have access to a lot of coaches, but you're there wondering, no, this coach is not for me. These ones, they are here to just collect my money. And you're there literally killing your son's spirit one harsh word at a time. Are you going to come and learn how better to parent your child? Or are you just going to tell yourself, okay, that this is all there is to it? And you keep doing the same thing over and over again while chipping away at your child's self-esteem and self-confidence and even self-worth while you're also not taking care of yourself. Because trust me, yelling, I've heard people fall, I've heard people have headaches. In short, I personally, there are times where I will yell so much and I'll have headache and I'll have a headache. And so I knew I needed to find another way. I knew that this was not the only way. I knew that even though, I was parented in a home where my parents used to yell, I didn't want to do the same thing. And this is my invitation to you once again to take a break, pause, think about all of these things that we've said, and ask yourself really, truly, is there a better way to do things? And if there is, slide into our DM and we'll enroll you. We've started onboarding people already. It's just going to be a beautiful one where it's ushering you into a different, like a more peaceful home, a home where your son can actually talk to you. Because I'm speaking to parents about parents who are living with their sons like strangers in the home. Come on, what is happening? How is it that we got to this place? They're living like strangers in the home. Their sons don't talk to them, they don't interact with them, they're just there, locked in their rooms with their iPads, with their tabs, their laptops, and that's all that matters to them. And I ask again, how did we get here? Do you think this is normal? Do you think this is what Gen Z is about? No. This Gen Z, we complain about them all of the time, Gen Alpha, Gen Z, we complain about them all of the time. But do we stop to introspect and say, could I be playing a role in all of this? What role could I be playing in all of this? So yes, this is my this is me asking you to take the moment today and ask those questions. And I hope to see you tomorrow with another edition of our 10-day series. So tomorrow is going to be day 2. Please invite your friends, invite your friends, invite your family, invite everyone in your circle. Let them come and learn. Let us all come and learn because we cannot continue to do the same thing and expect different results. So yes, like come your way tomorrow again. This is Amina. Bye.